There were a number of people who organized it. Roland, Nicholas, Nora, Nikki, myself, and I'm sure that I forget a lot of people and offend them with that, so I'm sorry. But there were a lot of people helping out and like contributing to the discussion, and like together we made up this this idea in cooperation with Rasa. The movement, like at first was called the Occupy Eleanor thing. It started basically with a Facebook page. It was created by a number of people, and right after the email by Henk Meijer to all the students, and Friday afternoon or Friday like at 6 p.m. there was a meeting with everyone who was well, interested, and so that we could discuss our plans. And this meeting was not very successful, because a lot of people came and they didn't really know, and we were afraid that we were going to organize a huge like illegal protest or something, and we didn't really make our minds up ourselves, like what do we want to do. So after that we had a meeting with the Rasa board, and with a number of people together with the Rasa board, and we basically worked out a plan that we would organize an information session, and after that a discussion session in Eleanor. And after that, if people wanted, they could stay in Eleanor to show their discontent and their protest against this plan for the institutional fee. So the plan was to coordinate together with Rasa, first have a Rasa event, then combined Rasa and Occupy movement event, and then the occupation itself. I can see that ORA needs more money, and I agree with that completely, because I think that ORA has, for example, it has not enough courses, I think. So this could be solved with having more money, by having more money, but I do think that to charge the students is a bit unfair, because we don't cost as much as the average student in Holland. Like, we are the cheapest students ever, and now we should have to pay more. I mean, it sounds like kind of a contradiction to me that those who don't cost much even have to pay more. Because we are already the most cost-efficient college, so why just don't give us a little bit more money instead of like charging us more? And especially for those people who are self-sustained students who pay for their college fees themselves, this is has a real big impact, because it is like 700 euros a year, which is, you know, like a lot more than what many people had in mind. Well, like a point I also really want to address is that ORA management should be much more transparent. And I think tonight was a great first step when Henk Meijer and Diederik van Werven came to like have an information session with the students. But I think it could even be done much better, because like ORA knew about this whole institutional fees thing for a very long time, and all this time they kept the students in the dark. And at the open day, which was a month ago, they told the parents of the prospective students, they told them that there was going to be an institutional fee, and that was before they told the students that there was going to be an institutional fee. And I think that is an example of the miscommunication that ORA makes, and I think that these failures in communication can really undermine the trust that people have in ORA management. While I'm sure that ORA management has the best in mind for students, but they really should improve their communication in order to also communicate this towards the students and get students involved in decision making and in the plans.
The way this has been set up today is kind of break with the tradition of the GA as we know it at RA. Today we've set up Eleanor in 5 rooms, with each about 25 seats, like regular. And there different groups are working on different aspects of the problem, which is generally this whole problematic of the institutional fee, the communication between management and students, and also the implementation of it, what should happen if it actually has to be implemented, what should we do with it. What I think that we are at a stage in which we are hopefully seeing a kind of flattening up of the structure, where within the management there will be more transparency, more collaboration, and with the students. And I see it as a kind of maturing process in that sense. I had a really short meeting together with Klaas Henk, with Jort Snijder for one, and it was just a really short meeting, and he said, oh, so he was joking around. He came to me and he said, where do you live? I said, I live in Begijnhof. And then he said, so, okay, so you're going to occupy Eleanor, we're going to occupy Begijnhof, and then we switch. So yeah, he's a funny man, and he has done his share of protesting. In fact, I think that our teachers and management are far more experienced at protest than we are, and they are far more. I think the problem is that it seems like a lot of decisions are a bit. The decisions made in management seem a little bit ad hoc from a student's perspective at the moment. I don't think we are getting a real sense of strategic leadership, although you might have a different opinion on that. My biggest issue is that, or one big issue is that there's still at this moment very little attempts to bridge the quite enormous power asymmetry between management and students, and I have no illusions about having a college run by students and management together. I think that's a naive idea. However, in relation to this idea of a maturing institution, the feedback networks between what the students think and what the students find important and what the management does, they seem not so well in place.
I think it's really good that students right now are, making themselves heard and actually give an opinion. We've actually learned a lot today from meeting with management as well as discussing a lot. And my personal opinion is I can now see that it is sort of inevitable to have an institutional fee. But I think all the details and our future and the strategical plan, etc., need to be planned out, as well as the decision whether current students are actually going to pay the fee as well, etc. All these details need to be discussed. But the main idea of this whole occupation and this public forum is that we're, making ourselves heard and that we're going to actually contribute to the decision-making process in the future. So onwards to the next destination. This is that we're not only discussing the institutional fee, but we're discussing about how students should be a part of decision-making in general.